Welcome into Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn, in theaters September 19th.
Oh, what's good, everybody? Welcome in to a Thursday episode of Coach and Company Live here on the Stadium Network, Bally Sports Live, Amazon Prime, DirecTV, YouTube TV. The list goes on and on. We are available every single weekday in over 100 million homes, which is really cool. Now, the special part about Thursday is that we get 2 hours. The stadium execs are crazy. Crazy, I tell you. We have Coach and Company, obviously, 10 to 11. We'll get to the schedule in a second. Now, what do I always tell you here at the show? What do I always tell you here at the brand? We just want to win more than we lose. And yesterday we did just that. Me and Raphael coming through strong 2-0 days. My two plays, by the way, I stopped watching by the 6th inning. That's how sweat-free that it was. Now, if Mondays is our busiest day at BTT Studios, then Thursdays is a very close second because 11 a.m. Eastern time, it's the Coach and Bro Show. Me and Vince Russo and the WWE TKO. They're the gift that keeps on giving. They've announced that they're going to be raising their ticket prices again. We'll talk about that and everything pro wrestling at 11 a.m. Eastern time right here on Stadium. Then, of course, at 2 Eastern time, Off the Ropes with your boy, the Coach, on SiriusXM channel 156. At the same time on our Coach and Company YouTube page is Weekday Wagers, DG, Mark, Robbie Hockey, and the crew. And then always on demand, you can get all of our content at either YouTube page. All right. Also, remember, we're going to be starting primetime shows. You also get a morning episode extra every single day. If you are an All-Star Premium member, I encourage you to do it right now. Scan that QR code. And also, do not forget, our merch store is now live as well. We have several options, and there are more coming down the pike. Don't forget to get your Chapel Bill or your Model My Ass t-shirts and sweatshirts, hats, and all that good stuff as well. All right, we got a full show today coming up in about 15 minutes. Full preview of Thursday Night Football because remember, we do not have a primetime show tonight. Will we jump on last minute, around 10:30, second half? You never know. You never know. Premium members only. But again, don't know that. Then coming up in 30 minutes, we've got No Filter, former NFL coach, current UFL coach, Phil McKagan. He's amazing. He will join us to talk everything from inside the locker room of the Commanders and the Packers, and then we'll talk quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. We break everything down Thursday Night Football. So housekeeping is done, and I can hear a bunch of guys in the front. A little impatient today, but I like it because we got a lot to get to. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time to beat the books. Oh, and look who I have today. What a motley crew this is. But it's Thursday Night Football, and we're going to get right into it. Let's have our good mornings because, guys, as you can tell, I'm feeling great today. I was 2-0 yesterday, sweat-free. Sometimes you need to lead by example. Let's start with the youngest member of the crew. He is live from the campus of TCU in Dallas-Fort Worth. He is King Lettuce, young Peyton. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Everyone's so into the football season. I mean, so am I. But no one's talking about the Texas Rangers out here. A month ago, these guys were completely out of it, right? Now they're just a game and a half out of the playoffs, just 2.5 out of first place in the AL West. People are very excited out in Arlington right now, and they got a good reason to be.
Good call. And the Mariners are streaking the other way, allowing them to get back into it. So great call. We'll keep our eye on the Rangers. Now, next, he goes by one name and one name only. Good morning, Zeno.
Morning, Coach. Morning, gentlemen. It's been a rough 24 hours for several reasons. I can't decide what I am more frustrated at these days, whether it's Atlanta traffic, my ex-wife, or the Yankees.
In that order? Is it in that order?
No, it just kind of depends on which ones I'm sitting in at the moment. And right now, Yankees are bothering me the most.
I have a feeling you and I were doing a little bit of this today, by the way, on our picks. A little bit of this today, but we'll get into that. It's all right. Two behemoths going toe-to-toe, eye-to-eye. I like it. I'm here for it. Now, this man is the host of Weekday Wagers. He's live from Memphis, Tennessee. DG, what's good?
Morning, Coach. Morning, guys. Excited to be here. It's Thursday. I love being here Mondays, Thursdays. I get the games. You should be jealous, all of you that aren't on these days.
Very, very jealous. All right, he's our numbers guy for a reason. Say good morning to Raphael Esparza. Good morning, Raphael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, family. Thursday football. I am excited to watch NC State Wake Forest. Who needs Washington and Green Bay? Give me the Demon Deacons.
Come on. Let's go ACC. Get your I got it. All right. So, my first question this morning, amongst the many, as I stare at these incredible handicappers, jumping the gun. I like it. DG wants all the smoke. DG, best bets. Start us off.
Yeah, last season, Green Bay allowed the third most targets, receptions, and yards to the running back positions. Last week, 14 targets and receptions to Detroit. I expect Austin Ekeler to go over the 19.5 receiving yards at minus 110. Ekeler had 3 receptions of 31 yards and a decisive win over the Giants last week. They're going to have to use him more because Green Bay is going to be very good against the run. And so watch Ekeler get out of the backfield, stay out of those negative yards, and catch 20-plus receiving yards. And then from one athlete to another, let's go Brandon McManus, the kicker for Green Bay. We're going to go over the 1.5 field goals. Washington is really good at defense, only between the 40 and the 20. Once you get in the red zone, they might as well let you score. But they're a bend but don't break. Because of that, they hold Brandon McManus and allow him to get 2 field goals. He cashes both for a minus 105.
No.
Are you trying to tweak Zeno right now? Are you purposely trying to tweak Zeno right now?
Squat from last week when you put 2 kicker bets out there and lost them both. I'm telling you, DG. I'm telling you. I'm praying for you to lose. I hope Brandon McManus slips and falls, okay, in his first field goal attempts, misses it and misses the rest of the game. You deserve whatever comes your way for doing this again.
Oh, the ex-wife must really be putting it on you right now because you're getting tweaked.
You don't learn.
With the...
I can't help people.
Right.
Can't learn from previous mistakes.
Understood. All right, Zeno, you're so fired up. I'm going to come to you next. Best bets. Let's go.
Deebo Samuel, over 4.5 receptions, a.k.a. not a kicker, okay, an actual athlete, an actual football player who has to do something other than stand there and kick a little ball. Soccer player in a football uniform, ruin it for everybody. Anyway, Deebo Samuel, over 4.5 receptions. He got 10 targets last week. 7 receptions, 10 targets. I know they're going to try to work Terry McLaurin back in as he gets in the offense, but you can't deny that Deebo Samuel is the best player on the field. He literally is the best athlete on the field, the best player on the field. They're going to continue to get him the ball. This is a really good price here. So let's go Deebo Samuel over 4.5 receptions. And while DG's got me all fired up, let's go pick the Yankees again. I did this yesterday. Yankees first 5. God, their offense is terrible. Their bullpen is even worse. This team is miserable. This whole thing is miserable. But are they going to get swept at home? And the only way they're not going to get swept is to get a lead early. Why? Because their bullpen sucks and can't stop a nosebleed. So it's not a favorable starter for the Yankees. Cam Schlittler. I don't know how to say his last name. I don't want to say a bad word. Anyway, his ERA at home isn't great, but the Yankees have to score here, and I think they do. Tigers going with a bullpen game. Yankees first 5.
Which is exactly why I went the other way.
Not wrong. I can't hate you.
The reason I did it, Zeno, is because this year when the Yankees really play bad, they play bad for like 6, 7, 8 days in a row. And so it's more of a gut feeling because it is, as you said, it's a bullpen game. But when you get outscored 23-3 in the first 2 games of the series, I think they're down, foot on the neck, and they're just trying to finish them off today. So we both could win our bets, though. We both could win our bets. It's possible. It's possible. I did not take the run line because it was 2 nickels. It was 155. I thought that was too much juice. So I took it a plus 140 on the money line. Then also raised White Sox over 8.5. I was going to run my 2 plays back yesterday. However, young Peyton has a premium play. And if you're a premium member, you'll get that in the bonus episode that we release around 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I went with the Tigers instead of the Mets and the Phillies. Rays White Sox over 8.5. The White Sox, they've become an over team. I told you that yesterday. And when you look at these two starters, Ian Seymour, his last 2 outings, 5 runs and 4 runs. Shane Smith, his last 2 outings, 4 runs and 2 runs. You put it all together, it's another over game, 8.5. I'll take that all the way to the pay window. All right, young Peyton, I just mentioned your premium play today. What do you have here on the show?
Yeah, first, learn from previous mistakes, and Zeno takes the Yankees. That makes a lot of sense. All right. We're taking the Padres to cover the 1.5 at home against the Rockies at -116. We just had this pitching matchup last week. Kane Brown against Randy Vasquez. The Padres won 10-8 at Coors Field in that game. Vasquez for the Padres gave himself a quality start. Kane Brown couldn't go 2 innings. He got 5 outs and gave up 6 runs. I think we see something similar tonight. And we're taking the over on 226.5 passing yards for Jaden Daniels. I got the Packers winning this game tonight. I think Jaden Daniels is going to have himself a nice game, but if the Packers go up in this one, I think we'll see him get 230 without a problem and go over this line at -110.
By the way, I just realized that on Thursdays we have 2 straight hours of programming, so we don't even have time to tape the premium play. So I'm going to give it out right now for you. Mets Phillies over 8.5. Tell me why.
Yeah, Mets Phillies over 8.5, -102. Mets hitters 252 against Luzardo. They've seen him like 115 times, but they've seen him a ton, and their offense should get it going today as well after scoring just 3 runs yesterday, and the Phillies have been putting up runs. And on top of that, a 3.04 average and 115 at-bats against Mets starter David Peterson. This game is an over series. It's going to be another over game tonight.
All right, very good. We'll release the other premium plays throughout the hour. Raphael, come over to you. Best bets, go.
First one's going into football. We're going to take Jaden Daniels -0.5 or just to throw an interception today. We'll lay the +105. Why do you ask? Because there's no soup for him today. He will throw a pick. The last 10 games, he's thrown 5 interceptions. And if Goff threw an interception against his Packers defense, I think he'll throw one tonight because I think both quarterbacks will be throwing the ball a lot. And then in baseball, give me the Seattle Mariners first 5 -0.5, -2 pennies. Seattle has won 5 straight games. I'm not saying I'm the best handicapper. I would do the best research, but I got lucky last night because I had the Mariners on the run line and we win 4-2 in 13 innings. That success rolls in today. I'll take the first 5 with Seattle.
We got a lot of people playing first 5s, laying half of runs. I like it. We're getting to that point of the season. You lean into teams that need it and are playing well and those that are not. All right, let's bring in Zeno's best friend in the whole wide world, Marky Model from JTS. And Mark, great news that you guys have elevated JTS, the site, and now college football and NFL football. You can start getting your lines on Tuesdays for both, yes?
Absolutely right, Coach. The college football schedule for this week is up. I just got a text message. They're having some issues loading up the projections. We will get that fixed. It'll be fixed within the next 5-10 minutes.
All right, very good. So what is today our JTS play of the day?
We are going, not for back-to-back, but a three-peat today because we've cashed the last 2 days. We're going with Pittsburgh's Johan Oviedo to get under 15.5 outs. He has been under in all 5 starts this season. He's averaging 12 outs. He hasn't thrown more than 80 pitches at any single outing. And we're going to combine that with Washington Commander Jaden Daniels to go over 200 yards passing. He's done this in 17 of his last 20 games. He's averaging 222. He cleared this line last week in a blowout win over the Giants. Love this spot for him to throw against Green Bay. Put them both together. You get a +121. Just a Stat Sports play of the day.
All right. We want you to be a part of everything we're doing over at JTS as we are partners with them as well. Scan that QR code. Use our code NFL100. You'll get the first 30 days for a single solitary $1. And then you can have everything that JTS does provide. All right. I feel like it's another winning day, but we also need to supply a lot of great information for all of you. So still to come on the show, we're breaking down everything coming up next, Commanders and Packers Thursday Night Football. Then in about 20 minutes, no filter, former NFL coach and current UFL coach Phil McKagan will be here to talk everything Packers and Commanders, and then also a little bit something else going on in San Francisco. We're just getting started. What a glorious morning. It's Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn, right here live on Stadium and Valley Sports Live.
Too easy.
Hello, mate.
Wait a minute. You guys aren't real cops, are you?
solar flare hit, we lost our humanity. You saw what people did to the world burn. The monsters they became. If we're to rebuild, we have to hold on to every masterpiece of human achievement. Jake, you have a gift for acquiring treasures.
And what would I be hunting down this time?
Mona,
The Mona Lisa?
in all her motherfucking glory.
Guessing you're my contact. We're headed to the worst place on the planet. There's nothing there but disease and warlords. Yeah, this is definitely a bad idea.
The world is a gladiatorial arena. A worthy opponent is hard to find.
I could have taken that guy.
You're welcome.
We just flew into a war zone. Jumped out of a plane for the first time. Got attacked by a tank. And all this for a painting? I don't get it. What's going on that everybody's willing to die for?
We want our world back, Jake, from these agents of chaos.
We got work to do. I love this song. They're all over us. How many tanks does this guy have? Oh, shit.
Welcome back, everybody, to Coach and Company live here on Stadium. Do not forget, coming up at the top of the hour, we have 2 full hours coming out of BTT Studios, the Coach and Bro Show, everything in the world of pro wrestling. And we cannot forget that the very first live event on 9/11/2001 was the WWE and SmackDown. We'll talk all about that and what that meant. I was in Houston for that show that particular week, coming up during the Coach and Bro Show. We can never forget what today is in America, especially after what happened yesterday. But sports has always been a way to kind of take our minds off of that and just kind of let it go for a little bit. So today, that's exactly what we are going to do. So week 2 starts tonight. The Commanders on the road in Green Bay. I need to see my guy, Raphael, because you're always on top of line movements, things that are happening, big bets that are coming in, things that could potentially change throughout the day. So where are we at today, sir?
Very interesting what today's game is, because we have 3, pretty much all in Vegas, and then all DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, ESPN Bet, all have 3.5. Now be careful if you look at that 3.5, because the juice is only minus 102 pretty much everywhere. They're showing you, hey, you can lay the minus 102 or take the 3 and lay minus 115. What do you want to give us? So be very careful. I think Washington money will continue to come in. I think this number drops a little bit. And I think the total goes up. Wouldn't shock me if we see 49. 48.5 jumped around yesterday.
So if you're a Packers bettor, you would recommend waiting to get that 3 without having to buy the half a point.
Yeah, if you're looking at DraftKings and FanDuel, I think they move it back down to 3. Right now, just telling me they're trying to get as much Washington money as possible, so then when they move it down, they have a nice cushion when the Green Bay money comes in.
All right, very, very good. Raphael will be in the chat. Any questions for him or for Mark, you can ask him in the chat. They'll answer them for you in real time. All right, it's time to dig into the first game of the week, and it's a banger. 2 teams that have high expectations for this particular season, and they both started off with a win. The Commanders over the Giants, and the Packers a big win over the Detroit Lions. It's time to kick it off. All right, gentlemen, now at BetMGM, which is where I use most of my lines, they move, and we always put them in at the beginning, and then as they move, you can see in real time. So right now, they moved back down to 3. When we put this in, it was 3.5. So I feel like it's going to be moving around all day. DG, let me start with you, because it's all going to depend, as Raphael just said, on who's making what bets and when and at what time of day. But let's use this number for right now, 3.5, the total 48. Start us off.
Yeah, I like this for Washington because I could see this definitely being a game that is right at a field goal because obviously I love kickers and so does Zeno. And so because of that, I think that this is a game that's going to be closely contested. And so if I can get points, especially on the other side of the hook, the 0.5 of the three there, I like it being over there on the Washington side. I think that they're a good enough team to hang with Green Bay, but at the end of the day, I think Green Bay's the better team.
Yeah, I really felt like last week that they didn't have to show anything,
Right.
Zeno. They were up early, and then I had them on the local channel out here, so I had the Sunday ticket on my iPad. Then I had the TV on. I was like, they're showing nobody anything because they didn't have to beat the Giants by 15. How much do you think they'll open up that playbook tonight in Green Bay?
Generally, the idea is to do the opposite of whatever you saw in week one. Like, I'm not like being disrespectful to DG. We don't really know what anybody's going to do because it's one sample size. So to say, yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. I think they'll throw more. I think that they'll pass more. But I have no data points to back that up other than, okay, they didn't do it that much last week, and you know what, we expect better in my preseason notions of what these teams are. I say all that to say that I don't know if either one of these teams offensively are as good as what they showed last week. And the scores are misleading because both of these defenses played teams last week in the Giants and the Lions that were combined 1 for 6 in the red zone. I don't think that's the case for either one of these offenses going up against these teams, which is why I think we get more scoring here tonight. So I do think we see more throwing. I do think we see a faster paced game. But I also don't think either one of these defenses are as good as what the numbers told us or the scores told us they were last week, I guess is my point, Coach.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, too. And I normally on Thursdays, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, have my own segment on BetMGM Tonight. Obviously, we use their lines as well. And I think that last week I said Green Bay was my choice for the NFC representative because of Jordan Love. And he went out last week. He didn't have to be spectacular. He didn't have to do anything special, to Zeno's point. He just had to win the game. And I think the Lions are a big regression if you base it off the one game. So, Peyton, let me come over to you because Jordan Love, to me, has now elevated himself into easily a top 5 quarterback in the league. And when you have a night where you have the whole audience to yourself, sometimes when you're a legit top shelf quarterback, you want to show out just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. And both these teams outscored their opponents by 2 touchdowns in their season openers, but the difference, the Commanders played the Giants. The Giants are terrible. Nonetheless, both teams very good, who will both make the playoffs here, but the Packers looked dominant week 1. Did they do that good, or did the Lions do that bad? I mean, I think the Packers looked that good. And the game's at Lambeau again. I think it's going to be tough for Jaden Daniels. I'll take the Packers to cover on the road, the 3.5, and they better win this game because I had the Ravens Sunday night and the Bears Monday night, so I am not happy right now.
Oh, I had those with you. If you bet on those 2 games right now, you still have the pit in your stomach going, how the hell did they lose those particular bets? Now, I will say the positives, DG, is that Micah Parsons, the Packers bring him out last. The crowd went bananas. He clearly was a lot healthier than the reports said that he was going to be. And I think that he's just what the doctor ordered for this Green Bay defense. He was everywhere. What did you see as far as his impact was concerned?
Yeah, what I see with Micah, same thing he did in Dallas. Like, he was the chess piece that you move around on the defensive side to kind of keep the offense guessing. And so what you can do, because he is so athletic, you can move him around and put him in very good spots that allows him to be his best self. He also, if he ever gets through the line, he's going to be able to track down a quarterback. And so we saw that late in the game last week when he chased down Jared Goff. But the way I see this being, honestly, I think that Green Bay slows this game down completely. I think they run the ball on offense, and I think they make you pass the ball underneath on offense for Washington. So because of that, I think this game's going to be slower, which could actually go to the under of this total.
Yeah, that's actually one of the questions I'm going to be asking Phil in No Filter. Exactly that with Josh Jacobs. Now, speaking of needing a new pasture to play on or just needing a new vibes, we have a best bet on Deebo. Last week, watching him on the field, he was one guy. He looked faster. He looked fresh. He looked healthy. And maybe he's just happy now to be out of that injury cauldron that is called San Francisco and the 49ers. He had a big game against the Giants. And I think for Terry McLaurin, it's awesome that Deebo is now on that football team.
Yeah, again, I think McLaurin is still going to slowly start to be worked back in, and Cliff Kingsbury will sort of get him more targets and more touches. But again, I don't think it's deniable. Deebo Samuel is the best player on the field tonight's game. That's just it. If it's not Micah Parsons, it's Deebo Samuel. I mean, he is a Swiss Army knife for every offense, and they're going to continue to feed him the ball. I think there's a very common sense coaching staff, Cliff Kingsbury. They're not worried necessarily about who gets it. They're just worried about effectiveness. And Deebo brings them a lot of advantages in the screen game. And even that short little shovel pass, that's not a pass, that's considered a pass, that counts as a pass. You know the play I'm talking about, guys?
Yeah. That pass.
That pass, that's still a pass? Yeah, that counts as a reception. Counts as an attempt, too. Weird. But anyway, so, I mean, that's the way he's used. He's that much of a tool for offenses. And I think Cliff Kingsbury, who showed last year, he's a great offensive mind and a great play caller, will be able to exploit that.
Yeah, he showed what we talk about all the time. There are some coaches that are great as coordinators, and there's some that are great as head coaches. He was not a great head coach. Just wasn't. Not in college, not in the pros, but he's a great play caller. So I love that. Now, when you're looking at two teams that both, Peyton, want to be in the playoffs, they expect to be in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs a year ago. You always have to look at their schedule a little bit too and say, how badly does tonight's game affect them moving forward? For the Packers, they really need tonight because their bye week is in week number 5. The Commanders play 11 straight weeks. Their bye week's not until week 12, I believe. So when you have at Cleveland and at Dallas right in front of you for the Packers, starting off 2-0 at home, I think is a big, big deal.
Yeah, for sure. And with those games that kind of sound very, very winnable, you're almost kind of trying to see which receivers are your go-to guys if you're Jordan Love. Because right now, the Packers just have a ton of very good receivers. They don't have that number one guy. It says a lot about your receiving core when your tight end has the highest prop number tonight. Tucker Kraft's at 40.5. The Packers don't seem to have that number one guy, just a bunch of very good ones. I think Matthew Golden puts himself on the map in these next few weeks. I'll take Golden over tonight and in the coming weeks. I do like the Packers and Jordan Love to try to figure out who his guy is these next couple weeks.
All right, we got 90 seconds left in this segment, so I need predictions, gentlemen. So, DG, let's start with you. How do you see this game going tonight?
I can see this 23-20. We get a Packers win. I believe it stays under the 48, but I think that you're going to see the clock just bled out like crazy.
Oh, it'll drive people nuts if they're on the over. Zeno, your thoughts?
Dead opposite. Over 48. Over 48.5.
Why?
I mean, again, I don't think either one of these defenses are as good as what the numbers told us last week. They can be had. And even at that, Jordan Love last week made a lot of mistakes. Like, there were 2 balls that easily should have been picked. One was accidentally picked and called back because of a penalty.
Yep.
I expect them to be throwing a lot. I think both these quarterbacks end up getting picked at some point tonight. So I think this all leads to a high. Plus, Thursday night games earlier in the year tend to trend over because guys are healthier. When we get to November, December, and guys are more banged up, things get a lot slower. If you're going to go over, it's going to go over early.
All right, Peyton, I got 30 seconds for you.
Yeah, I think both of these quarterbacks are better than the defenses. I think this game's going to go over. I also like the Packers to cover the 3.5.
All right, very, very good. Zeno, good luck, sir. Have a great day. Zeno's dropping off, but don't worry, we got a full company on the other side. So still to come, we're going to be breaking down everything from a coach's point of view, taking all the betting out of it. What does it really look like from inside the locker room? It will really help you with your fantasy, with your handicapping, if you so choose. No filter is coming up on the other side. Also, we're going to look at the quarterbacks, the running backs, the wide receivers from a prop perspective. Time to look at the playmakers. I love Thursdays. I love Mondays. This is Coaching Company presented by Afterburn right here on Stadium and Bally Sports Live.
Well, Packers host the Commanders on Thursday Night Football. Who cares? We're going around the time and Mark from JTS. Mark, my 2 favorite words. We got day baseball starting at 1 Eastern time. 9 games. Let's go. Where are we headed today, man?
Well, first let's start with the night game. We're going to go with Colorado, San Diego. No run first inning at -120. Look, I'm targeting 2 teams that have been absolutely horrible in the first inning. Colorado, 87% no-run first inning on the road this season. San Diego, 78% when they're at home. I love this spot to target two very weak teams in the first. And then sometimes you set day baseball, and the universe just gives you signs on what you have to do for a play. And that's why I'm taking Baltimore's Jackson Holiday to get over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. You can get that at minus 125. He's done this in 9 out of his last 11 games. 9-11. That's not the only sign here. In their lineup, they have Jackson Holiday and Jeremiah Jackson batting 1 and 2. 7 and 8, they have Dylan Beavers and Dylan Carlson. Peyton, do you know the last time a Major League Baseball team had 2 sets of duplicate names batting in the lineup?
When, Mark?
It's never happened. This is an unforgettable day. It all lines up. Give me Jackson Holiday to go big, minus 125, and that is your round, the diamond.
I actually had Jackson Holiday yesterday, and he went 0 for 2 against Paul Skeens. Then they take Paul Skeens. First of all, the Pirates took out Paul Skeens after 65 pitches. What the heck is going on? Anyway, he goes ahead and gets his hits, runs, and RBIs. Definitely a nice little over there for Jackson Holiday. But everyone's so into football right now. No one realizes the biggest rivalry in sports, Yankees, Red Sox, are each just 3 games out of first in the AL East. We got some good baseball going on. But scan that QR code, get an edge with AI today. And wow, just $1 for your first month, Mark? Are you serious? So if my mom went on JTS and got her first month for $1, do you think she'd make that whole $1 back?
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's really good. That's really good to hear. You're listening, Mom. Go ahead and sign up. Go sign yourself up at JTS today. We'll be right back on Stadium.
Welcome back to Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn, in theaters September 19th.
8 days, I'll be front and center for Afterburn. My boy Dave Batista, Samuel L. Jackson. Can't wait for that. Thank you to Afterburn for being a part of what we are doing. Do not forget that we have a separate episode almost every single day. And also, we're going to be starting primetime shows outside of Sunday and Monday. So we want you to get your merch, but also become an all-star premium member so you get all of the content coming out of Coach and Company and BTT Studios. Now, one thing we try to do here at the brand every day is make you smarter, bring different perspectives. And we have the opportunity to bring in a former NFL coach, a former high-level college coach, a current UFL coach. Damn it, that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's time for a little no filter. All right, Coach Phil McKagan is here, looking like $1 million on this morning. How are you, sir?
I'm just trying to show the respect that is warranted for this wonderful crew on this really memorable day. So just being respectful to what we got going on around here.
I like it. Now bring your eyes down here. Look at me. Look, bring your eyes down. There you go, right there. That's the eyes I need to see. Look right there. All right, let's start, man. We got to start with Micah Parsons. Last week, they introduced him last. He was all over the field. What's the coaching answer to a guy who can wreck your rhythm before the ball's even gone out?
What a good question that is. I would say the first and the most important thing to talk about is chip protection. All right, what is chip protection? What does it mean? Typically, it's in a 3-by-1 with the tight end on the right side and the back will be offset on the left. So the tight end is going to be responsible to chip Micah Parsons if he's on the right and then release to the flat. So that would impede his ability to run down the field routes. Now, they also have Rashawn Gary. He could be on the left. So Ekeler could be on the left as the H. All right, and on the right could be Ertz. So what they're going to be required to do, this would be the back here. He'd be required to chip the end and then release into his flat. Here's a tight end doing it, chipping and getting out. So those are two very common ways that you will see utilized to control Micah, in particular on 3rd down and 7 to 10, 11 plus, and on particular on some shot play action passes, they will utilize this technique tonight.
First time I've asked this question all season. You see that video? Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. All right, question number 2. Let's go to the quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels, rookie of the year last year. And he got a lot of attention for his off the field, dating, mom, all of it. But when he gets back on the field, he's all business. A lot of people consider him a top 5 quarterback already. What do you see out of him that makes him so good so early in his career?
Absolutely. He's definitely one of those tier 2 quarterbacks for me as well. I've been around this guy in the Pac-12, and he was coached by Joe Sloan, my GA from USF, nonetheless, was the coordinator. And then obviously with Anthony Lynn and Cliff Kingsbury, who I know really, really well as well. So the kid has poise. I know this off the charts from everybody that's talked to him. He's very calm and composed. But let's just talk about the metrics here. 69% completions last year. The biggest one for me, 12 fourth quarter touchdowns. He's clutch. He's calm. He's a weapon. He may be the best player on the field, not named Deebo Samuel.
No doubt. It's great to have Deebo back on that side of the ball. Let's go over to the quarterback for the Green Bay side, and it's Jordan Love. Now, in his career as a starter, Phil, he has not had good Septembers. In fact, last year, a little bit of injuries, but it was an 0-4 September. So to get off to the start he got off to last week, that's a really big deal for him. What do you see out of him in September?
Sure. So this September, to me, because of the continuity with Matt LaFleur inside of that offense, just think about it from this perspective. The great teams that lose coordinators, play calling, forward-facing coordinators, because they're successful, don't include the ones that the head coach calls offensive plays. So he doesn't have to deal with what maybe Jalen Hurts has been dealing with the success of the Eagles and the turnovers at the offensive coordinator position. So there's continuity there. That continuity should reflect a better September than there has been before, because this guy is trending upwards.
Yeah, and last week when they got that big lead, what do? They turn around, they hand it off to Josh Jacobs. He runs downhill. What does it say about their identity under Mr. LaFleur that when they get a lead, they know how to protect it with that guy?
Sure. So Matt LaFleur and many other coaches got their start with Mike Shanahan, who I played for before. So I understand how important it was to block for a guy like Terrell Davis so he could set up the play action pass down the field. That's when you get Romeo Doubs going. That's when Wicks gets going. That's when you can get some big shot plays down the field, with everybody that's on the offensive side of the ball. So I really believe that establishing a run, 50, 60 rushing yards is a bare minimum for this West Coast offense to thrive and execute the way it's supposed to.
All right, I would be remiss before I get you out of here if I didn't bring you in to a little college football, because you have had a really successful stop at South Florida before. They now are the talk of the town after beating Boise State and also beating Florida in the swamp. And now this week they've got a chance at number 5 Miami. What have you seen from your former school that tells you maybe they can move to 3-0?
Well, here's what I know about USF is the guys feel passed over. They're 4th or 5th, depending on how UCF's doing school in the university. When I was there, we knocked out Florida State and Miami and Notre Dame and Clemson and West Virginia because the kids had chips on their shoulders because they were passed up by those schools. So I feel like that we're back in there. I talked to Kevin Patrick, great player at my University of Miami, won national championship with Dwayne Johnson and Sapp and Darren Crine on that D-line. He's the D-line coach at USF. He was there when I was there. The nostalgia's back. At Miami, we knocked them off to Skip Holtz. Everybody's juiced up. The former players are texting. It's the energy's back. They feel like they're ready to poise and knock off some more big boys. So USF's going to be a top 25 team, whether you like it or not.
All right, we'll see how they play this weekend against number 5 Miami. You can see my boy here every single Thursday. It is no filter as we get set for Thursday Night Football. Where else are you going to get that? Are you kidding me right now? All right, time to go a little bit deeper. Time for some Playmakers. Oh, and here they are. Look at my boys. Gentlemen, let's piggyback. Start with DG, Peyton, and then Raphael. Let's start with the quarterback comparison. All of these numbers we get from BetMGM. Anything you like here, DG?
Yeah, I like the passing yards for Jaden Daniels. I think that he's going to have to spread the game around a lot. And I don't know if we know who's going to go to the most. I would obviously look at Deebo. And we'll get into him a little bit later on. But I do like it because I believe that Washington will have to pass it because they're going to stop that run game.
Peyton?
I believe that Jaden Daniels will go over 225.5 passing yards because I think they're going to be throwing it in the second half. I think they're going to be down. I do like the Packers in this game. We've seen Jaden Daniels get plenty of passing yards towards the end of games because of him responding to some adversity. He's definitely proven that as a rookie. Second year, he can definitely prove that. Now I like that 225.5 over.
Give me both quarterbacks passing completions over, especially Jaden Daniels. I think Goff did it, dumped a whole bunch of screen passes and tight end passes to Green Bay's defense last week. I think see the same thing this week. I think Daniels easily goes over 20.5.
All right, let's flip it over now to the running backs. And we talked about Josh Jacobs, Austin Ekeler. We also have a best bet on him. DG, what do you see with either one of these guys?
Yeah, the rushing attempts on the over 5.5, I think that's got to be there for Austin Ekeler. But also on the other side, on Josh Jacobs, that number of 18.5, if it is available, please find it now. You can stop the show, pause the show. But Josh Jacobs over 18.5 rushing attempts is the number you want to grab right now.
I like Josh Jacobs over 76.5 rush yards. He had just 66 last game. I think he's going to have a much better game today. I think he just had like 20 yards at halftime, which is just not Josh Jacobs' numbers. I think he's going to get 90 tonight.
When the Green Bay offensive coordinator and Josh Jacobs says the only way we're going to win this game is keep Daniels off the field, then you run the ball. I think the rushing attempts is key for Green Bay tonight.
Yeah, I think DG was onto something at the start of the show on just sucking the life out of this game and out of the football. Now, there's a reason we didn't use Deebo. He's not a running back. He's not a wide receiver. He is a mix. Now, classic wide receivers are these two guys. Terry McLaurin, who got his deal done. He's happy once again. Romeo Doubs, last week he did have 68 yards. DG, what do you see here?
Yeah, I'm going to go over on Dobbs, the 41.5 receiving yards. I think that we're all a mystery on who's going to catch passes there for Green Bay. They're all good enough to get over their yardage number. I'm just going to go ahead and target Dobbs on this one.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable taking a Packer receiver right now because I don't think Jordan Love's found his guy. I'm going to go with Scary Terry primetime over 53.5 receiving yards.
If you're going to look at Deebo, people are betting his rushing yards over 4.5. Take a look at that one. But I agree. I think Dobbs has a surprising game tonight.
Very surprising. It's amazing when your number one guy who's known for dropping passes and known for dropping long passes, DG, longest reception, 19.5. This is a guy that can take the top off. I don't know that I hate either one of these longest receptions because usually once or twice in a game for Washington, they'll streak McLaurin down the right side from maybe the 35 or the 40, which would easily take us over that number.
Yeah, and I think you can see that with the quarterbacks. They might get frustrated of having to play so close to the line of scrimmage where they go ahead and want to take the top off. And so you might see them take some shots at both of these guys. I honestly, for McLaurin, I think he has to have at least 8 targets to get over that 4.5 receptions made to get 5. And so because of that, I kind of like the under on McLaurin. So you can go longest reception. That's great. I would also look at the under on McLaurin.
Under 53.5. Okay. That's very, very fair. I hope that Peyton, he doesn't do what the Giants lead wide receiver did last week, and that just show out when he doesn't get the ball, very demonstrative. McLaurin needs to be the leader that they paid him to be.
Yeah, he does. Well, I think Malik Neighbors was a little upset that it was Russell Wilson throwing to him. This Terry McLaurin's got Jaden Daniels, so I mean, he's definitely I think he's gonna have a good night tonight. It always seems like he steps up in primetime games.
Raphael, you're the only one that I've not gotten a prediction from. What do you think about tonight?
I like McLaurin. I think Washington's going to be the most active throwing over the top tonight. I think what we all saw last week with Detroit not being able to, I think Washington will do. So I think any of those wide receivers, longest reception could be pretty good.
All right. Very, very good. All right. That's the entire breakdown. As I mentioned, when we start doing primetime shows, are going to be what we call emergency shows. And if I'm home and other guys are home, we're going to jump on for premium members only. So maybe tonight after I do BetMGM tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time, if I'm feeling froggy, maybe I'll jump. You never know. Do you want to be left out? I don't think so. All right, on the other side, big-time injury for several weeks. We'll discuss Coach and Company. Presented by Afterburn right here on Stadium Valley Sports Live. call home and tell mom and dad. And then Aaron Glenn decides that you're going to be the guy, Xavier Gibson. You're going to be the guy that he makes an example out of after a fumble that he says can't have guys that help us lose. What kind of a statement is that? Now, for Gibson, I feel awful. I think after 1 week, it's a bad look. But he also understands, if you're Aaron Glenn, that his time could be short if he doesn't make these decisions. I still don't agree with it, though.
Glenn, what are you doing? That morale in that locker room has to be low. And I'm looking at Glenn, not the Jets organization, but Glenn itself. I don't agree with this at all, because now you're going to have players that will be very cautious on the field because do not want to make a mistake that they might be looking for a job. They may be looking on a plane ride to San Francisco looking for a job. I don't agree with it. Jets, you're okay. Glenn, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, maybe I did the wrong thing at the wrong time.
We want our world back, Jake, from these ages of chaos.
We got work to do.
The world is a gladiatorial arena.
How many tanks does this guy have?
DG, how high is the morale in the Jets locker room with the arguably number one storyline from last week coming into your house on Sunday?
Yeah, with the Jets, like I think the morale has to be high, honestly, because yes, you lost to Aaron Rodgers, who played crazy good, but I think it all depends on your quarterback. I think they believe in their quarterback right now in Justin Fields, and so if the Jets are feeling good, I think it's because they have faith in Justin Fields.
I believed in Justin Fields. He had a great game on the ground and in the air. Young Peyton, can they give the Bills a game?
Yeah, I just think the Jets are excited about their new quarterback, Justin Fields. I think that's it right now. They're going to get smacked by the Bills, though.
Very interesting. We will be live Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time to break down all of the biggest games on Sunday. That is a 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern game on Sunday. I believe there's 1-2 at 4:05 and just the 1-4:25. Why would you put anything up against the Eagles and the Chiefs? You don't, and they didn't. We're back live on Stadium. Big news coming out of San Francisco. 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Coach and Company here on Stadium Bally Sports Live. Don't turn that channel at the top of the hour. We have a full another hour of pro wrestling Coach and Bro show with me and Vince Russo from 11 a.m. Eastern time to noon. Now, there's been rumblings all week, gentlemen, about injuries in San Francisco. It's become the norm the last couple of years, but you never want it to be with two of your biggest names. George Kittle's one, and then DG, the other name. It's a disaster. He got his bag. He got his money. They win in week one, and now Brock Purdy, due to turf toe or something like that, is going to be out 2 to 4 weeks. That could be the difference between the playoffs and another missed playoffs for the 49ers.
Well, thankfully, the 49ers, they absolutely sucked last year. And so because of that, they get a favorable schedule this year, especially to start the year off. And so, yes, he is going to miss his 2 to 4 weeks, right? But I still think Mac Jones is going to be good enough to keep them in games. Even if they go 500 and he does miss 4 weeks, they'll go 500 over that time. I think that they're going to be set up to be okay for the rest of the season.
To DG's point, Raphael, Saints this week on the road. Then they're home to Arizona, Jacksonville for their next 2 games. So it's not exactly a murderer's row, but they've got to figure out how good is Mac Jones still and how good will he be for this offense.
Point-wise could be different.
Come on!
What if Arizona wins and they come in 2-0, and let's say the Saints surprisingly beat the 49ers? The only thing that bothers me, I'm tired of these people saying, oh, Brock Purdy's worth 4 points because they opened up at 7, now they're 3. No, Brock Purdy's not 4 points. If you dissect this, Brock Purdy's only worth 3 points with him being out, not 4 points, because Kittle is not playing this game. I think the Saints have no issue in playing this game. I think Mac Jones wins this game.
Wait, you just said the Saints have no issue playing that. You meant the 49ers?
I meant to say the 49ers.
Yeah, you're excited because you're trying to prove me wrong for 2 weeks in a row. No. So your mind is working faster, or your mouth is working faster. Oh, you are. 1,000% you are.
I'm still eating crow for making fun of your Justin Fields. I'm not trying to prove you wrong. You proved me correct the other day.
He could be first team All-Pro this year.
I don't know about that.
Oh my God.
I don't know about that.
Young Peyton, let me come over to you. This is a big deal. Take all the betting out of it. You never want to lose your starting quarterback who you just paid, what, $50 million a year to? Is he like at 47, 48, something like that? Whatever it is, it's a lot of money for a guy who's a system quarterback, but he's their system quarterback. This is a big deal.
Yeah, Rhapsody's worth 4 points. Apparently, he's worth 4 toes. I mean, how does that turf toe keep you out for 4 weeks? That's a little crazy to me, but they did give the ball to Christian McCaffrey 22 times, so maybe he gets 25, 30 carries this week. But say what you want about Mac Jones, he's just not Brock Purdy, and it's a really good thing. They're playing the 3 worst teams in football the next 3 weeks. You want Purdy back and healthy for later in the season when they play better teams. I get that, so it's not really a rush right now, and hopefully they're in the playoff conversation when Purdy comes back. So there's no reason to rush him back right now. I think the Niners are going to be all right.
31 touches CMC had in last week's game. 22 carries, 69 yards, 9 catches, 73. DG, if they do that every game, he'll be out by week 4.
Yeah, there's no way you can do that to CMC. And we're going to honestly see like maybe a different game plan because they're going to have to bring in their backups to kind of run the ball a little bit more. Jordan Mason's now in Minnesota, so they're going to have to rely on Brian Robinson Jr. And so we'll see. I think his number shoot up a lot during this, this absence of Purdy.
9 carries, 33 yards. From a prop perspective, Raphael, about 15 seconds. What would be your attack if you're giving advice to people at home on the 49ers?
Look at the wide receivers, because don't forget the Saints lost their best secondary guy last week, who's probably going to be out all season long. So I think the wide receivers might have a field day against a bad team.
You keep thinking the Saints are a bad team. Damn it, Raphael. Me and you are going to become bitter rivals. Best friends to bitter rivals. I can see it already. Producer man, make the transition. All right. Now we're coming off 2 straight winning days. Our motto here is very simple. Win more than we lose. It's time to lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less, 1 or 2 nuggets. It's all that I need. Raphael, start us off. Go.
Jaden Daniels will throw an interception tonight. You can get that at plus 105 his last 10 games. He has thrown 5 INTs, and I think both quarterbacks will be throwing the ball. So I think maybe even both quarterbacks can throw an interception tonight. And then in baseball, give me the Seattle Mariners first 5, -0.5, -2 pennies. Don't forget, Seattle's won 5 straight, got the miracle run line cover last night. I think they continue to roll tonight. I'll take first 5.
Wow, against Peyton's Angels. What a shot across the bow. Let's go over to King Lettuce. Does that offend you, Peyton?
No, not if you want to make money. So we're taking the Padres to cover the 1.5 at home against the Rockies, -116. They need a bounce back game, and they're going to do it against Kane Brown. Who is that? I don't know, but he's not going to make a name for himself tonight. And I also like Jaden Daniels over 226.5 passing yards, -110. They're going to be down in the game. I like him throwing it.
All right, Mr. Zeno is going to go with Deebo, who had a great game last week. I think 7 for 77. He's going to go over 4.5 catches tonight, -122. And then the Yankees, first 5, -0.5 to bring that juice down, -115. And then my plays, I actually disagree. I think the Yankees, who've been outscored 23-3 the last 2 games, I think they continue to struggle. I like the Tigers plus money at +140. And then the Rays and the White Sox continue to score runs. They cashed yesterday, I believe, in the 5th inning. Today, maybe they'll do it in the 4th. DG, let's go.
I like Austin Ekeler to go over the 19.5 receiving yards. It's at -110. If he can stay out of negative yardage close to the line of scrimmage, I think he catches this really easily. And then we're going to go Brandon McManus over the 1.5 field goals at -105. He's a kicker. I'm playing them. They're profitable.
It's all right. I don't mind the kicker props so much, DG. All right, marquee model, JTS play of the day is what?
We're going with Pittsburgh Pirates' Johan Oviedo to stay under 15.5 outs. He hasn't done it in any of his 5 starts so far this year. He's averaging 12 outs, and he hasn't thrown more than 80 pitches. And we're going to compare combine that. Why did I do that again? Washington Commander Jaden Daniels to go over 200 passing yards. He's done it in 17 of his last 20 games where he's averaging 220. Put them both together, you get a plus 121. Just a test sports play of the day.
All right, come on board. Scan that QR code. Only $1 if you use that code NFL 100 for the first 30 days. Raphael, make me smarter.
Thursday night football in the NFL, and I can't wait to watch it. 7 of the Green Bay Packers' last 8 games against NFC opponents have all gone over the total. This total just moved to 49 as well. So I don't think it's going to go higher than 49, but make sure you get the best number.
All right, and one final little nugget. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Travis Kelce is taking blame for knocking Xavier Worthy out of action for who knows how long. Very, very down about it. But did you see his boo thing? Apparently she isn't that down about it. Kane Brown. Did somebody say the word Kane Brown on the show?
I had McCade Brown today for the
McCade Brown. Okay. Well, Kane Brown just did a charity event in LA, and guess who he brought out as a surprise on the stage, and the people lost their minds. Boo thing, Taylor Swift. It was amazing. It was amazing. So apparently she's not that shook up about Xavier Worthy being knocked out like Travis Kelce is. Well, he looked really
Kane
down.
Brown.
He's great, right?
Yeah, I went to 2 of his concerts. It's pretty cool.
You did?
I have.
Wow. That dude has won. He's winning on the stage. He's winning off the stage. His wife's an amazing singer. She sings with him on a couple of songs. So absolutely amazing. Gentlemen, well done. Good luck tonight on all of our plays. Producer man, you know what time it is. Normally I would be saying goodbye, but I'm not because it's Thursday here at Stadium and Bally Sports Live. So coming up at the top of the hour in about 3 minutes, we have the Coach and Bro Show. We have breaking news coming out. One WWE superstar is calling out another. Locker room. All that coming up, and ticket prices are going up. But in the meantime, for this show, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets. 3 straight winning days straight to the pay window. For my entire company, damn it, do I love them all. My man DG, Peyton, King Lettuce, Zeno, Marky Model, Raphael, producer man. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. This is Coach and Company, presented by Afterburn. As always, right here on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. See you at the top of the hour.